Welcome back, Watchmen. Let's analyze. The heralds have arrived with a new decree, unrolling the Hollywood scroll across the public square. After yesterday's stagnation, the air finally carries the scent of a fresh campaign. The pre-market watch opened at 68 cents, oscillating between there and 69 cents until the 5th hour. As dawn approached, a slow descent began, ultimately bottoming at the 67-cent floor. A small bounce met the opening bell at 67.5 cents, triggering a choppy rally that surged towards the 70-cent mark by mid-morning. Resistance at 70.5 cents forced a retreat to around the 68.5 level, where a strong bounce prepared the army for a second assault. This mid-morning charge was repelled at 71 cents, resulting in a choppy fade back to the 69-cent support. By early afternoon, the bulls reclaimed momentum for a final rally, only to be rejected a second time at 71 cents. We ranged around between 70 and 71 cents, and the session ended with price resting against that very bastion, 71 cents. The rally today was likely fueled by what's called a liquidity vacuum, which allows minor buying pressure to reclaim territory with ease. Small buys can move the price more than it should. Primary catalyst was a decree regarding a tokenized legacy, a move to secure the name, image, and likeness of Hollywood stars on the blockchain. While no formal filings have reached the archives, the off-exchange volume reached 43%. This suggests that larger institutional entities are quietly gathering strength in the shadows before the weekend. Now let's move to Trading View so we can analyze the charts. Here on the daily, you can see this nice little green candle that formed, but don't be fooled by it. The rally today is what's known as a phantom rally. There was really no volume behind it, and until we break this SMA up here, everything down here we do is just noise. It looks nice. We didn't form a low, we did form a new high, but moving up on that little bit of volume is not, we're not going to be able to sustain that. If once we hit this and we hit that selling pressure from the algorithms, it's gonna make us fall. We need to see something happen so we can boost up and break this. Let's go ahead and dive a little deeper. Go to the hourly. Alright, here we can see, let's mark some stuff here. Let's mark this trend line. Alright, you can see the trend was stopped by the range yesterday. This little channel that was here. That's not a channel here, no channel. Take this extending off. This is the channel we were ranging around in yesterday, and we boosted out of it to open, and you can see we came back down and bounced off the top of it and went a little higher. That's bullish. It's not super bullish because we didn't have a lot of volume, like I said, the phantom rally, but we did break this high. See, we got over it here. So the next one is going to be this high. This we need to break, and it's real close to the SMA. So once we're able to get enough momentum up here to break this high, we'll be fighting the boss battle at the SMA once again. If that happens, we'll start our new trend line from this low right here. It'll look something like this. We'll change that to green. But you know, we won't be able to mark this line until something actually happens, till we see what happens tomorrow. Alright, and now it is time to honor the candle of the day. So we'll zoom in to the 5-minute chart. And today's winner is this candle here, the first one to reach the 71 level. I chose it because it had the highest volume of the day, and because it broke through this high and gave us a new high. Even though later on, you know, this one is just as cool, it just went just as high, but it didn't gave us the double top and it didn't break it, so not cool. So yeah, today's winner is this guy at the top. Alright, now we can back out a little bit and do the forecast for tomorrow. I think that with the institutions doing the small buys in the background, they feel like something's coming either Friday or over the weekend with the show, with Nate's presentation, and they're not fully confident in it, but they're starting to build up their position some more. We won't really know that for sure until we see some more 13 filings, which aren't due until mid-May, I think. It should be May 15th is the due date for Q1 13 filings. So we got a ways to wait until we see definitive proof of that. Unless we see some major volume. If we see another 100 million volume day, that's not retail. That's somebody big in the background doing that. So let's see if we get another Phantom Rally day. We could definitely come up and tap this high, but I don't know. It might end up being something like what we saw today, a double top off the high, and a little slight fade into the close. I think that's highly likely, actually. That situation is pretty likely. But given that it's Thursday and not quite Friday yet, we're more than likely to see another sideways day. We broke out of this range here, and we got a little bit more height, but I think we're going to probably form another little range channel here. Of course, if since the record date's passed, nobody really needs to buy for the dividend anymore. We could see some more selling. I don't really think there's a lot people left to sell. So, I mean, if there is, we could see something dropping back down into this range here, and even possibly dropping back down towards 64. But I really doubt that we'll penetrate that iron at 64. So, given that, we can go ahead and close out the session, and we'll say, let me go ahead and remind everybody that we have the bestiary coming up this weekend, the first teaching video. So go ahead and cast your votes if you haven't already. We're going to, so far the flame golems are winning, the candle patterns and the structure. And I have some of those lined up already. I have most of that actually lined up already. It'll be a very interesting lesson. I think it'll be very nice. So go ahead and cast your vote. Smash that like button, ring the closing bell, and unfortunately the Lady of the Watch is not here with us tonight. She's already in bed for school in the morning, but I'll let her know that everybody's rooting for her. And since she changed my catchphrase, I'll close out by saying, the Night Watch stands forever.